Hello, welcome to Successful Tradings. In this video, we are going to share with you how to grow a small trading account fast. And with just two techniques, we aim to show you that it's actually possible for somebody starting with a small account and build it fast by trading. Without any further ado, let us dive right in. All right, so our video on here today on how to grow a small account fast, just trading your normal way. First, let's go through a couple of techniques. The first technique is pretty much how you react into getting into a trade, because it's important, especially trading options is very, very important, right? The entry. So let's go into presentation mode on here and show you technique number one. Technique number two, they go hand in hand if you really, if you, as you're going to see, and then we are going to show you an illustration, one of the best illustration that we recorded recently, and that here on our channel on a live trade that we did. So how to grow your small accounts easily. You just have to grow it fast easily. Okay, so technique number one on here, let's take the time and actually go through this. We want to be able to say, hey, when we make money into a trade, right? Often traders will be happy to say, oh, I made X percentage. So let's say in our case, I mean, our median here is like 300%, 400% on a trade. But then the question that I always have was, how many contracts did you have? Yeah, because the more contract you have on a winning trade, the more money you make. So our technique number one on how to help you grow your small accounts fast while trading is that you scale into your winning trades. So let me stop right there. Well, yeah, you scale into your winning trade by buying more contracts, hence averaging up. That's what I'm hinting into. So wait a minute, you're gonna be telling me, but Telex, I don't know when I take the trade it's going to be a winning trade. That's the point. That's the second, that's actually what we're clarifying it, meaning that when you get into a trade, let's say, again, for us here, we will use our example that the median win percentage is 300%. So before a trade gets you to a 300% profit, we have 10 baggers here, right? They have to go through 50%, 100%, 150%. That's your opportunity to scale into the trade, meaning you buy more contracts. So typically our rule is that we advise that traders have at least 3 contracts, and we trade cheap contracts on here. How cheap? Refer to a video in the description on here. We made other video. One of the video we made today to go along with this series of video as earnings around the corner to help traders make more money, generate more income. One of the video was how to trade stock with no money or little money, because you are going to discover that $10, $15 can get you into a trade that actually can make you hundreds of dollars. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So in this case, we encourage you in with technique number one is to be prepared mentally for that, because there's the mental side, the psychology of trading. Oh, I'm just happy I bought that contract and now the contract's worth this much, but my friend at the end of the trade, oh, I could have made twice as much. Imagine that you get into a trade for, trust me, these numbers are realistic, 10 cents, 20 cents. Yeah, that trade turned into $1, meaning that $20 into $100. Whoa, that's fantastic. But you only have one contract. If you had 2 contracts, you will get yourself much double of that profit. If you had 3, you will triple that profit. But it's recognizing when. So a rule of thumb that trader asked me, okay, Telex, okay, fine. So now you see, we move the discussion, which is progress. Okay, fine. When do you advise me to start scaling in? Again, I go back. Before something gets to 300% profit, doesn't it have to go through 50%, 100%? Typically for me, it's going to be that between 50 and 100% that I'm going to be scaling in. And I'm going to show you a very good example on how we did that recently on a trade that we didn't even trade it that great. But with the 2 techniques, this technique number one on here is something that I use consistently, especially with our proven strategy that's called the gangster trade. If you don't know what the gangster trade is, or the sweep gangster trade, where we buy very cheap contracts, well, my friend, this is perfect, because if you get in a very cheap contract, 5 cents, or we saw even in one example, 1 cent, $1 entry. Guess what? The moment that happened, and again, because you plan our trades, especially the Ganser trade take place in pre-market for us, at least we put in the order in pre-market, right? You are automatically scheduled to buy more, even let's say it costs 5 cents more. So let's say you got in at 5 cents, and the moment you saw that, oh, I got that entry because the price going to be moving, hey, you can put in an order to say, hey, let me get more contract at, let's say 7 cents, 10 cents, or even up to 15 cents, whatever the price could be on there, because that's how you're going to be averaging up. You're going to be making more money with more contract like that. So basically, the in summary on here, technique number 1 is you take more risk, but it's calculated risk because you're averaging up. A trend has set itself up, and typically that trend can last at least 15 minutes, 20 minutes. We have seen trend. Oh, my friend, we can bring you the trade of Baidu this week. Yeah, Baidu, we shared where the contract was worth, the 135 contract, which wasn't even the contract we started with, because that's another angle that we can talk about. I'm going to show you in the video, in the example that we're using on a stock. Buying contract more or warm, further out of the money, which are cheaper. So that goes hand in hand with this technique on here that's we're using. So that's technique number 1. Well, now when it comes to technique number 2, it's not really number 2. For me, it's the whole ensemble of how I manage the trade, really just managing it. Scale out of your winning trades by taking partial profit. Yes, because psychologically, when you're making money, right, instead of sweating it out to say, oh, and that's the advantage of having at least 3 contracts, well, 3 multiple contracts, at least 4, 3, because this last part on here, leave 1, 2 runners, run, let them run too. I put 10 bagger, but it could be 20 baggers, 30 baggers. Yeah, there are stock that go 30 baggers. We have had stock on here on this channel go 50 baggers, not once, not twice. Yes, so it's possible. Yeah, so partial profit, what does partial profit mean? So initially you got in, let's say, a couple of contracts, 10 cents, 15 cents, 25 cents. The direction start being favorable to you. Between 50 and 100%, you apply technique number 1, you get 1 or 2 more contracts. Now, at let's say, I don't know, 200, 300%, you sell, you close some of your contract, and then you leave 1 or 2 contracts, depending on how much time you have left to expiration and what tolerance you have to our risk. So those are the 2 techniques that really, they are easy, and they can help you to consistently grow your small trading account fast, because there's a huge difference between having a single contract that gives you 300% or 2-3 contracts that give you 300%. And if you happen to have a strategy that's not into expensive option, as I've heard some traders, but you are successful trading, that's what we are suggesting it to you. Subscribe to our system, and you will see, we will share with you week in, week out, how we trade cheap option and able to generate money on them. So let's go into an example on here on how you go about applying technique number 1 and technique number 2 in order for you to grow your small accounts fast. So here I'm going back to this, because I wanted an example that's actually not just a theory. I want something practical, and you can go back and find the detail of this video of the example that we're taking. We recorded that in a video for you at the time we were illustrating. That was the end of August, where we started brainstorming, sharing the idea. It was before our bootcamp on September 7th, sharing with everybody the idea about the Ganser trade. So the Ganser trade on here consists of what? In our case, consists of what? We are doing a sweep Ganser, meaning that we are putting in multiple orders, right? So here, that's why I put entry number 1, yeah, because I'm scaling in, I'm going to have several entries, yeah? I'm scaling up into this. So between 11 and 19 cents, I got a bunch of contracts. So my average there was 15 cents. Yeah, but now look what happened here. This is what I was talking about, the variation. So I'm taking more risk on here, but I'm taking more risk, not so much with these, because I got a lot of filter on here in my first order, right? So I'm buying a strike price that is just a couple of dollars outside, but it's at 10 cents. Now I find myself with more contract, be it at different strike price, but as the stock is going from in my direction favorably, so my first exit here, I start selling, taking partial profit. So that's what this means. This is partial profit. Exit number one at 270%. Okay, so folks, I bought contract on here 15 cents, 10 cents thereabout. Yeah, so I'm selling them 52 cents. That's the whole principle behind that. Exit number two, double of exit number one. I kid you not, I didn't plan that. It just was like just automatic. That's why I love to use this example. This is a real example. Notice 52, 104. That's just to give you an idea for batch number two, meaning another set of contract that I exited. And then as the technique said, let a few runners run, I let this last batch go all the way to 1,260% for a 10 bagger. It doesn't get any better than this in terms of, actually it got better because this trade here on that day, and again, we're going to put the video for that from Baba, it went actually for bigger than at 1,200%. So it was on a Friday, by the way. So hence on expiration day, hence I was eager, and I had some circumstances that I described on the video. I'll give myself an F for this trade on here, but imagine if I'm giving myself an F on a trade that went all the way to 1,260%. So I hope that you got something out of this today. You are able to take this, start applying it next week on here during the earnings season by applying our Gantt strip trade, and so that you are in a better position to grow your small account fast, such that, hey, now you can be trading more options that are more predictable to your account. So please like, comment, share in social media so that we can continue to cater the content of this channel to your liking. Have a great evening, have a great afternoon, what a good morning wherever you're watching from. Bye-bye.